So you're stuck between either buying an e-moto, either large or entry level, or an e-bike. Today we're going to be comparing the e-Ride 2.0, which is a very high powered bike, to the RTR Lite, a entry level e-moto, which is an excellent bike as well to start with, and the HOVSCO GTRS, a consumer level bike just for riding around and commuting. And we're going to go over a lot of things as well. We're going to start by comparing each one of the bikes, just going over the facts, objective realities, compare them in those categories, you know, speed, battery, street legality, the range depending on how you ride it, things like that. And then I'm going to ride each one for a few minutes, and then at the end I'm going to just be honest. If you are X, buy Y. You know, that's it. You're going to learn today which one you need for what you want to use it for. This right here is the e-Ride 2.0, the Send It machine, the big bike stance. You know, this thing's beautiful. It is a 40 amp hour battery. So that's really just depending on what kind of range you're looking for. It's a 72 volt battery, so a lot of people say the amp hour is direct to mileage. It's not. You can get more than 40 miles depending on how you ride. The top speed on this bad boy is 60 miles per hour. I mean, and you can get there pretty fast as well. But if you're pinning this bike the whole time, you're gonna kill the battery. I mean, it's how anything else works. You use more and more and more power on a phone or a game device, the battery gets killed faster. It's just how it works. Now, I have also ridden this thing at about 23 miles per hour on it, like that's the highest, because you gotta obey the traffic laws on these still. And it lasted amazing. I mean, 25 miles on it, I think it was something like that. And it was down to like 70% just because I wasn't pinning it and going crazy. On a track, you'd kill a little bit faster. Now, this is the larger of the e-motos. It's near a full-size 250 dirt bike. It's a little bit slimmer, weighs less as well. CST mountain bike tires. The e-Ride Pro 2.0 has a lot of aftermarket upgrades. Just a lot of companies make them. You can get them from multiple different websites and companies, so you know the availability is there for upgrading this. You can get bigger batteries, new controllers that amp up the power. You can get bigger motors. I got this from ECD Wraps. It just came ready to go, tore it off, everything fit. It's great, you know, it works really well. Some bikes don't really have an aftermarket yet, and sometimes they never develop an aftermarket. That's just is what it is. And a lot of times the companies themselves don't necessarily make a crazy aftermarket. They want you to just buy their product. I had to buy my own turn signals to loosely strap on there. So e-moto, you're not gonna get turn signals on 90% of them because they are designed and sold to be dirt bikes, not street legal motos. Is what it is. So I had to buy these. I had to buy the turn signal kit that I got to plug in and everything. And you can buy kits, but it's another $400. And where you live, this not being street legal is a problem probably. It doesn't come with a title. It doesn't come with a certificate of origin. So if you have to have those, unlike where I live in my state, yeah, it's going to be a problem for you. This is the e-Ride 2.0. We are in sport mode. Sounds way better and has so much more get up. We're about to do an uphill run. It's night and day, the power, the ability this thing has. Eats hills like a champ. But it's also $5,000, so it better. And now this bad boy is the size of a 110cc. This is their entry-level bike that they produce themselves. It is a 60 volt, 20 amp hour battery in here, which I know you like 60 volt, but it still has 5,000 watt peak, which that's equivalent to e-Box 3.0 and a few other bikes, so it's super solid there. And the entry-level price, $2,090. And you can check in the link in the description for all these bikes and have a little bit of discount code on here. I believe you get an extra $109 off, and it's on sale on the website right now for $300 off already, so you can save some good money there. Now it does have smaller wheels. This is, like I said, 110cc bike. Tops out at 45 miles per hour. So the e-Ride 2.0 was 60 and this thing's 45. Now the difference in Electro Co and e-Ride, now Electro Co, when they made this bike, they knew full and well people were gonna upgrade their bikes. And they love upgrading their bikes from stuff from Electro Co because it's literally plug and play. If you buy a bigger battery, it already fits in this bike fine. Plug it in, done. Like drop it in, plug it in, you're done. Motor, same thing, you take the bolts out, obviously you unplug the battery from the controller or from the battery and unplug the controller from the motor. Take the motor out, put a new motor in, plug it all back in, and you're done. That's just, it's that simple. It works directly to pin with it. They sell a lot of tire combinations, and even they even say the gear sprocket with it, so it's the correct gear ratio stays there. They have up to 14-inch wheels on this bad boy. And coming out in the future, they have a upgraded controller and motor. So, you know, this bad boy right now is 5,000 watts, but in a few months, when all that stuff comes out, for $4,000, which is cheaper than the e-Ride Pro 2.0. You can't see that over there, of course, I'm goofy. They have an 11 kilowatt model and a 14 kilowatt upgrades coming out. So you can buy the bike now for $2,090, then buy the other parts when the stuff comes out, or you get the money. So you have a bike to ride for now, and when you want to upgrade, the ability's there. They sell the stuff, it's plug and play. That's why I like them, I'm not gonna lie. You don't have to go to 6 different companies, watch 12,000 videos. It's just done. You're plugging shit in. You're following safety protocol, obviously. You're paying attention, unplugging things, covering things. Other than that, it's not difficult. You're not bleeding anything, putting seals on any motors, none of that. It's a Lego, man. It's the ultimate Lego bike, and that's why I love Electro Co and what they produce. I think this is one of the best mini bikes out there because they directly build it with the mind to allow you to upgrade to what you want it to be. Some people want the high torque, some people want the bigger wheels for easier wheelies, or they're taller like me. I'm 6 foot tall. This thing is a little bit short, but I ride fine and ride trails with it. So a little bit more wheel room would be nice on the road. But this is the e-Ride 2.0, this is the RTR Lite. And then in a moment, this is the RTR Lite by Electro Co, 5,000 watt peak. We got her in mode 1. Let's go ahead and put her in sport mode. It's got some get up and go. Like I said, 45 miles per hour is the top speed on this bad boy. Great for riding around the yard, having some fun, or getting in for your kids and not having to worry as much about it. I like the bike. It's got a display on it. Not all e-motos come with displays. I mean, honestly, and this thing handles like actual moto single tracks. Nope. Ah, spider. Spider. It doesn't handle spiders. This is the HOV GTRS by HOVSCO. An excellent bike. It doesn't look in the best condition because I crashed it. I just got the parts back today to replace it. I don't need the pedals on there right now to ride it, so it's fine. And also, like I said, it's dirty. I crashed it. Now, again, I broke my wrist on it 3 or 4 months ago, and then my wife crashed it the other day. In dirt, she's fine. Wasn't going that fast. Now, this is a 48 volt, 15 amp hour battery. Excellent. It's taking crashes like a champ. Nothing's cracked on it. Nothing's loose. The bike's held together really well for crashing with going full speed. Speaking of full speed, 32 miles per hour when you unlock it with the app. I will say Android, for some reason, won't let me use the app, but an iPhone will let me use it. I just link it, unlock it, and it's unlocked forever. It goes 32. Before that, it tops out at 28, which is the street legal part of the bike. That's the beauty of e-bikes compared to e-motos is this thing's street legal. As long as you follow the road limits, the speed limit, all that, and the road signs, you're fine. It has a brake light. It has turn signals in it as well. You double tap the buttons up here and lights will beam out which way you're turning. There aren't any front turn signals, but whatever. They also have headlight up here, really nice. The display is super solid, works well in the daylight. Camera doesn't pick it up too well, but it does work fine. It has a thumb throttle instead of a twist throttle like the e-motos or a lot of other e-bikes have. Now you can buy a replacement and do a twist throttle, but thumb throttle is pretty nice, I'm not gonna lie. It has 5 pedal assist modes, and there's the other key difference is that since this thing isn't a super speed, monster, and you typically would pedal to assist it anyways, you can get a lot more range out of this than you can those. Those are gonna be pinning as often as you can because they're really fun to ride like that. But for commuting and all day riding, and that's where the key difference is. It's gonna be a lot easier to take to cities, markets, stuff like that. It doesn't have a key, I'll be honest. It doesn't have a key. You'll have to lock it and hope no one steals it. Those have keys, at least. It's front suspension as well as rear suspension. So super solid there. Shimano 7-speed. So, quality parts in that essence. And this one's under $1,000. This is more of the, I need to get around. I want to have something to ride. It's 32 miles per hour. So a lot of, smaller street speed limits. And then just ease of use. Those things you kind of got to get used to riding a dirt bike. You kind of got to learn. This one, not so much. It's got big old fat tires, so it's really good on the road, really good for turning. And just overall, a cheaper option to get in the e-bikes. Now this at 1500 watts is not the top of the line e-bikes, I want to be clear. If you want something like that, you need to go to GOAT Power Bikes. They make excellent e-bikes, and I mean e-bikes. They have turn signals front and back, higher quality parts, and those things peak out at 5300 watts, which is equivalent to that RTR Lite I showed you earlier at 5000 watts. So, I mean, their bikes easily are superior, and they go 50 miles per hour. So street legal, plus they're sleepers. So no one will even know you have a super fast bike. And it's up to you how you display that. And a lot of them have pretty good range, and they're all 72 volts. So you can start out, you know, with a smaller bike like this, under 1000 or around 1000, that's 48 volts, and then move up a little while later to something that's like $2,500, $2,600. That's still street legal, doesn't look like a motorcycle or dirt bike, and get you around up to 50 miles per hour. This is the HOV GTRS by HOVSCO. We're already going 13 around my yard, just cruising. Look, it's a solid bike. I crashed it, that's why it sounds so crazy. I gotta tighten a bunch of stuff. But for commuting and riding around, you get around town or campus or anything on that like this, it wouldn't be any kind of issue, honestly. Solid bike for under $1,000, and like I said earlier when talking about the HOVSCO, you can easily upgrade to a more expensive one that functions more like a full motorcycle, at least for city use and commuter. So, if you were looking to, you know, you have no problem spending 5 to 9K to have a beast, then this thing starts at 12,000 watts, send it on any trail, you'll love it. It's a great bike. Now, if you're looking to spend less money and upgrade as you go over time, the Electro Co RTR Lite is your answer. Both of these will function great on a trail. This has a weight limit of 250. This has a weight limit of, I believe, 330 pounds. Now, if you're looking for just a bike to get around, to commute, that's affordable, you don't need nothing fancy or crazy, get the HOVSCO GTRS or upgrade to GOAT Power Bikes and get a better one when you're ready. But if you're really looking to just buy something once and not have to upgrade again, GOAT Power Bikes will not let you down. All these links will be in the description. Thank you so much for watching my video. Have a great day.